guys, today we're going to take a quick break from graphing to write some equations given A, B, and C. From a graph, I should specify. So I'm going to give you the graph and you're going to now write an equation. So quick review, A, B, and C, right? So A is your amplitude, which is your distance from your max and min to the midline, sorry. Okay. B is your number of cycles or periods in 360 degrees. It's a little unclear, sorry, let me fix that. Okay. So far we've used B to solve for how many, like what the period is, right? But it actually means how many cycles will show up in 360 as well. And then C is your midline, which is our vertical shift or sinusoidal axis. So let's do a quick backwards review. Like, we know that period equals 360 degrees divided by the absolute value of B, because the period always has to be positive. Well, if that is the case, we could cross multiply. Let me just show you. Once I show you, you'll never have to do it again. Right, so this will be cross multiply, so it's B times, period times B equals to 360, and then I can divide by period to get B by itself. Right, so B equals 360 degrees divided by your period. Just another way of finding the same thing, right? If your distance between critical points is your period divided by 4, then I could multiply both sides by 4 to solve for the period in terms of 4 times distance between critical points. Okay? Which makes sense, right? A period is 4 pieces of your graph. Your maximum is C plus A, and your minimum is C minus A. Remember, C is your midline plus amplitude, just in case, right? Because I'm not a great variable person. Midline minus amplitude. Much prefer words. Okay, so let's take a moment and apply all of this to our graphs that were given and write an equation. So let's fill out all of the information little by little. Now, your sinusoidal axis, you have to actually figure out your max and min. Okay, 5, -5. And find the middle of them. Now, you can think of this as like the average, or you can literally count that this is 5 squares and this is 5 squares, correct? So our sinusoidal, that's my amplitude. But then in the middle is y equals 0. It really was just 5 plus -5 divided by 2. Okay, so that's max plus min divided by 2. Okay, for sinusoidal axis. Amplitude is max plus minus min divided by 2, if you can't see it, right? So if I gave you some really big numbers, then you would want to do it this way. And so let's do a quick check. 5 minus -5, that's 10 divided by 2. You guys okay with that? Your period you have to see from the graph, okay? So you have to actually like be able to visually see. And the period is when your cycle starts to repeat again. So let's say I'm right here at the top, right? Because this is a cosine graph. And I'm going to go all the way down, and when I come back, that is your 1 period. So that's 120 degrees. That means distance between critical points is 30 degrees. So we know A is our amplitude. That's 5. We know C is our sinusoidal axis, which is 0. But how do we find B? Okay, so this is where I'm going to do a little bit of work here. And we're going to say B equals, and we're going to come up and find our new formula, 360 divided by period. Period, I'll show my work, which means we are doing 360 divided by 120, okay, which equals 3. So my B is equal to 3. So now that I have all that, I can literally just write my equation with C first, right? So 0, I don't need to write that. Oops, excuse me, my lights went out. And then we have A, which is 5. We are using a cosine graph because it starts at the top. And then B is 3 theta. You don't have to write the parentheses. I make it a habit. It's just me. Okay? So let's do it again. Sinusoidal axis. The middle is 3. We are 1 away and 1 away. That equals to A. All right, so this is my midline. So my amplitude is 1 because my max is 4, min is 2. Sorry about that. Okay, this time my graph starts at 0, or the midline. That makes it a sine graph. And my sine graph is going up, back to the middle, down, and back to the middle. You guys see how, like, after this, the sine starts to repeat and create a second cycle, right? So this is my 1 period. Which is 360 degrees. Now, distance between critical points. If there are 4 pieces, we know it's 90. Okay. Now, sometimes I might try to trick you and not put every distance between critical points line in there. So you do need to check that there are 4 pieces in your period. You can't always just look at the first one, okay? Because sometimes I won't give you this and I'll just skip 90 and go to 180 and 360. But the period doesn't change just because I don't put the numbers in, right? The period stays the same. You have to figure out when the pattern starts to repeat again, and that's how long the period is. So sinusoidal axis is my C value, A is my amplitude, and B, I'm going to have to do some solving. 360 divided by period, which is 360, which equals to 1. So we have sinusoidal axis is 3 plus 1. Let me just rewrite this because I want it to all be consistent in one color. Sine of 1 theta. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Everything at this point is exactly the same, so you guys are able, I think now, to go through and do the rest of it.